So this, from Nick Sotor here. Rioters in Los Angeles waving foreign flags are now setting American flags on fire in the middle of the street. This is why we need mass deportations. Wow. Who would have thought that at riots for protecting criminals from being deported, they would burn American flags? I'm so shocked that this is happening. Wow. What an event. Absolutely shocking. Andy Neo said, far-left open border extremists on Reddit are telling their comrades to bring U.S. flags to the Los Angeles insurrection so that it doesn't look like Mexican and foreign nationalists are leading the violence. Carry a U.S. flag if you're protesting. This is by Cove Frolicker. Mainstream media is trying to create the optic that foreigners are invading, and recent videos are fueling that perception. If you're protesting, bring a U.S. flag and tell others to do so too. End of the day, we're in this country and we want to make it better for our people. It's time to take the symbolism of the U.S. flag back from the racists and the xenophobes. Power to the people, power to the City of Angels, que viva la raza. What a weird thing to say. Edit, bring whatever flag you want, but also consider bringing an upside-down U.S. flag to show solidarity and make it harder for the maggots. Spend the energy you'll use on passive-aggressive commenting to do something more productive, like getting involved in your community or protesting. Fuck yellow and taco, free Palestine and Ukraine. The revolution is being televised. It's just not the one you were expecting. This post glows. It's a little fucking glowy. And they got, I don't know what this means because I don't use Reddit, but they got a little glowy thing here too. Holy shit, do they know what the Raza fucking means? Probably not. How is bringing an upside down US flag different from bringing a US flag? The US flag upside down is intended to mean crisis. Haven't heard Viva La Raza since WCW late 90s. What does yellow mean? I don't know. It just made me think of Crime Boss. Burning U.S. flags is also not a good look. Imagine. America first means borders matter. Yeah, you would think that they care about borders. Organizers of LA protests are now assembling and handing out American flags to protesters. This comes after days of footage showing them waving Mexican flags while torching cars, attacking police, and burning U.S. flags. It's clear that they realized the current optics were a disaster, and now they're intentionally using American flags in an attempt to rebrand and reshape the existing media narrative. It's got creases in it.
Are you getting those American flags? We got rid of all of them when they started coming. We were sitting ducks here, so we...
How many did you guys be able to
Oh, wait.
I think we got 5 or 6 out.
If you ask the Subaru right there...
But they're not put together.
Oh, they're not put together. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Right.
We're going to bring them back out.
We're going to bring them back out after.
Yeah.
Okay.
We might be back out in an hour.
Yeah.
They're marching from this. They're going to start coming this way.
Yeah.
I think that was a good idea after yesterday.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you guys.
Right on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Where'd you get the American flag? Down on Wait, where? He just happened to me because I was on the top. It's like a random guy? Oh, alright, thanks. Excuse me. I was looking for these flags. Where did you get this?
On the corner they have a bunch.
Okay. On the corner they have a bunch.
Giving them out?
Yeah.
Imagine. Instead of free bricks, it's free flags, man. Internet Zen Master, thank you. Viva La Raza, so the Mexican supremacists. They're only confirming the narrative at this point, right? You think Hassan is in there somewhere? Yeah, I saw some clips of Hassan being at the riot yesterday. Or Sunday, maybe? I don't know. My days blur together, chat. Massive Doge, thank you. It took them nearly a decade to figure out waving a foreign flag during riots will give the wrong message. Let that sink in. I think the sink has to go back, actually. I think the sink has to go back. Of Adidas store looted in downtown LA during the anti-ICE protest.
Are they breaking in? Oh, they're breaking in! Oh, they got into the store! Look at the security guard.
To be fair, if the store was locked up, why didn't they have grates all over those glass windows? I mean, that's, you know, it's, like, not that they were asking for it, but if you're in the middle of a riot and you don't have fucking grates on your windows, they're gonna get smashed in, baby. The Adidas were vital for the protest. True. This is how you protest people who are criminals getting deported. You become the criminal yourself. Look at the content of their character.
Oh, he dropped all of his shit. Oh, they're chasing him. They're getting him. They're getting him.
Let's protest deporting people by looting a shoe store. Much peaceful.
They're going back in for seconds. They're double dipping. Look at them. Look at them. They're going back in. They're double dipping. That's LAPD right there.
Never double dip in a group setting. Yeah, that's how you get an STD.
Yeah, get some left shoes. This guy has 3 left feet. Hey, they took everything. It's a little late.
Yeah, it is a little late. You know, when you have seconds, the police are minutes away. It's a great advertisement to buy a firearm, to be fair. Can we start arming store security? I don't remember if it's in California, but a lot of stores have policy where, like, you're not allowed to stop people in the middle of shoplifting. And if you do, you lose your job. So it's unfortunately in the clerk's best interest to not intervene. Unfortunately. I'm warning you. An active duty Navy JAG officer said that he will hunt down ICE agents. This is Benny at Learned Politic. We will hunt down every J6 and every ICE agent again. And I guess this is a picture of Benny. What are you gonna fucking do? Suck their dicks, Mr. Navy officer? Chat, what's a JAG officer? I don't know military ranking. What's a JAG officer? So it's treason then. It's a Navy lawyer. What the fuck? The Navy lawyer? What is he gonna do? He's probably less jacked than the average Navyman. What is this? Gay officer for sure. Fucking gay, dude. A JAG is a military lawyer. Jesus Christ. He's gonna suck their dicks, but he's gonna do it with anger. I bet you shoot a rifle better than he does. Fucking probably. It stands for Judge Advocate General. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Not the Navy. He just violated the UCMJ and he's definitely going to be court-martialed. Well, we can only hope. We can only fucking hope. And Libs of TikTok quote retweeted this person that said, meet Benjamin France, aka Benny. Benny made a comment threatening to hunt down every J6 and every ICE agent 3 days ago on X. Why should we care that Benny is threatening federal agents? Because Benny is an active duty Navy JAG officer. Benny proudly shared his taking of the oath to join the U.S. Navy JAG Corps last year on his LinkedIn account. And this says, I'm excited to share that today I took the oath to join the U.S. Navy JAG Corps. It has always been a goal of mine to join and serve in the Navy like my father, Timothy France, did. I'm thankful for all the support my friends and family have given me along my law school journey, and with that support helped me accomplish my goal of joining the Navy JAG Corps. Another picture of Benny here. Yesterday, Benny got into a scuffle with the wrong one, and he quickly found out he wasn't as anonymous as he thought. This is someone quoting, this all ends immediately with one magic trick, live ammunition. And they said, where do you live? Sounds like we need to test out your luck. That might be Benny, if I'm reading this correctly. Yeah. So Benny said, where do you live? Sounds like we need to test out your trick. And the oil field rando said, in a single wide trailer with my cousin wife. What a great fucking response. What a great fucking response, dude. And Benny said, no, I'm serious. You want to call for murder? Be ready to face consequences. And the oil field rando said, looming forward to it. It's okay. You know, mobile typing is hard. I feel for this guy. Looking forward to it. And Benny said, 3 years until you're in jail, little bitch boy. Oilfield said, I mean, it wouldn't be that shocking if we're being honest. Benny said, God, you're a little bitch calling all your feral fucks after me. And Oilfield said, hey, they're not that feral. Maybe a couple. Benny said, they're also dumb as shit. Oh my god. Doesn't matter who's in the pic, you're still a fairy fuck. How's JAG going? You found out. Interesting. Benny deleted his account, I guess. He fucked around and he found out. At Learn Politic, at Kingsley Coates, at DOD Response, at Secretary of Defense, cry more. You and the Secretary of Defense are a joke to the DOD, said Benny. An 04 guardsman should never be in charge of all American forces. An embarrassment to the military and the nation. Whew! He is just screaming. Can't wait for your ass to eventually be fired when Hegseth eventually drinks himself into a coma, you worthless piece of shit. And then this is the attorney profile for Benny here. Address Judge Advocate General Corps. God damn. God damn. He is fucking around and finding out. Current information for the U.S. Navy JAG Corps, operational law, military justice, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Work experience talking about here. What else is there? His social media history continues to get worse. This is at Chris Rufo. When you're the absolute bottom of the barrel and concerned to political instinct and power, you need to pick up on the little guy. Enjoy being laughed out of any institution once Trump drops dead. Man, this guy has just, like, crazy Trump derangement syndrome, man. Maybe you were onto something by firing the JAGs. True. Think you might need a JAG to defend your dumbass? Oh, wait, you fired all the head JAGs? Fucking dipshit. Well, clearly he missed a few. Clearly he missed a few. Holy TDS. You know a Navy guy who hates Trump? He's white, and the only reason why he's friends with you is because he likes Asians. What the fuck? I don't think I've met a single person from the Navy who is anti-Trump, so this is kind of weird. Dude is worse than the second lieutenant. Dude is worse than the worst second lieutenant you've ever seen. He sounds like a reasonable and well-adjusted person. Yeah, well, you know, he fucked around and he found out. He wanted to call for the doxing of all the ICE agents, and he got doxed himself. I feel like, again, you live by the sword, you die for the sword. If you don't bother other people, if you don't call for them to be doxed and harassed, like, you'll be fine. You can sit pretty, man. You can say all the, like, dumb, retarded shit you want as long as you're not calling for doxing and harm on people. This is why you save and screenshot these clowns' posts. When they delete the account, they can avoid accountability. Yeah, exactly. Archive fucking everything, man. Let's see here. Breaking. Democrat rioters are shooting at the police in broad daylight. They're literally trying to murder law enforcement. The Democrat Party is clearly the enemy of America. Well, it only took this guy, you know, like a decade to get there, I guess. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, that guy pulled out a gun right in front of the cameraman. Holy shit. That's kind of dangerous. Dale's Donuts is still under attack, chat. We must save the donuts. They've gotten kind of fucking crazy. Jesus Christ. You can't make this stuff up. Minneapolis Leftists rapidly mobilized to interfere with a raid that seized 900 pounds of meth. I don't know why I can't say the full name of meth. According to a criminal complaint, the Fed seized 900 pounds of crystal meth worth $25 million in the search warrants this month that people mistakenly thought was an ICE raid. That's crazy! The meth had a street value between 22 and 25 million. Gold-plated guns and Scarface decor were also seized. I kind of want a gold-plated gun. That'd be super gaudy. All this is coming out in a criminal complaint charging Isabel Lopez with assaulting officers outside Quattro Mill Pass when the search warrants were being executed. She's accused of punching, kicking, and throwing softballs at officers, all on camera. Imagine being so angry about criminals being deported, you start defending fucking meth dealers. Holy shit. It's like, you know, I would unironically believe that this woman probably knew about the meth and just didn't fucking care, you know? That's crazy. From acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson said, when the defendant was arrested, she doubled down, punching an FBI agent in the head. Let me make clear, it is against the law to assault or obstruct federal law enforcement agents. We do not punch cops. Holy shit. She may have been on the meth. Yeah, she was just worried about losing her hookup, you know? And she's like, we can't lose access to that. New quest, Washington, D.C. After 2 years of work, Steph and I have launched the Creator Economy Caucus in the House of Representatives, a bipartisan group where creators can work alongside lawmakers to ensure legislation is timely and relevant for the internet age. Already got 10 reps on board and we're just getting started. We'll eventually want to assemble creator advocates from around the country. So if you're interested in helping Washington understand our world, stay tuned for more info. Good luck on that. Matt is a turbo leftist. I mean, if he's a lefty, that doesn't matter, right? Like, if you can have bipartisanship, that is what should matter. And there's a difference between someone just being, you know, slightly on the left and someone being a completely ideologically captured retard, right? Matt made a video about Mike Tyson being weak to boobs. You think he's not a lost cause yet? I have no idea. I know that, like, he used to use a PNG, like, way back in the day, way back in the Sargon days. But, like, that is, like, the beginning and the end of my knowledge of this man. And if he would be willing to, like, break bread with me and have me involved in the caucus because he doesn't care if I'm slightly right of center, like, maybe he's drank the Kool-Aid and he believed the fucking autogynephiliac writing for Vice. I hope not. But it's like, if he's willing to work together, and he did say it's bipartisan, then I'm willing to work together too. There'd be no reason to freeze someone out just because they politically disagree with me if they're willing to work together. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, because that is heavily something I'm interested in. I've been looking around at politicians in my local area back home as well. And there seems to be a lot of local politicians in power that are already Republican instead of Democrat, which is surprising because Mass, New Hampshire, like, New Hampshire less so, but Mass is very much a blue stronghold. And so there are people that I would like to get in contact with. I just don't know how. Like, I've talked to those, like, political think tank guys, and I'm not sure when that article is going to come out. I think I should probably try to find him in my DMs and ask about that. But I'm not sure how to reach out to, like, actual, like, local politicians, and I don't want to come off as, like, anime woman to a real person. I don't know, I got, like, really nervous all of a sudden when, like, it became a reality to contact them. Riots are a very good opportunity for the GOP to steal some seats. Yeah. I'm so fucking interested in this, man. I just kind of want to peruse and see what some other people are saying. A sudden and unexpected MatPat Buttigieg. I can't pronounce that man's name. My fellow Americans, I have a theory. MatPat going on the wildest post-retirement side quest. Hell yeah. Might be one good politician. A new HOI 4 portrait dropped. The YouTuber faction. Congressman looks like Matt. Wait a minute. Dude is, what fucking timeline are they living in? Imagine having, like, MatPat and Brendan Herrera as your representatives. The age of the content creator is here. MatPat, what? Hold up. MatPat, what the fuck is going on? If this is legit good work for us, hopefully. I don't know how to get in contact with him, and I'm definitely interested in being a part of that caucus, because this is something I've been wanting to do. I don't know how to do it, you know? I don't have, like, massive brain cells. He's a man. So in theory, I should just be able to, like, talk to him and he'll be like, yeah, I know how to do that. I have man brain. Japan had otaku and VTuber politicians years ago. We're finally catching up. We're finally catching up. Brandon did break the mold first. You love to see it. Agree. You know, I don't know who this person is, so whatever they're saying here, put on your tinfoil hats, take it with a massive grain of salt. They say the riots happening in LA are not organic or spontaneous. They're designed to look chaotic to cover up the fact that they're well-funded, exceptionally organized, and carried out by well-trained activists, using intelligent, highly developed tactics. And I think the one thing that would make me be like, all right, my tinfoil is on, but maybe I believe you, is the fact that Hassan actually went down there himself. Because do you think for one fucking second that champagne socialist would actually go into a zone where he might be in danger? First, notice the protesters have shields. Pick one. These types of shields were used by the 2024 pro-Hamas rioters, pick 2, and 2020 Black Lives Matter rioters, pick 3. Each shield takes 3 hours to make, and activists spend all day making them, pick 4. That's not spontaneous, that takes planning. So we're going to look at some of these pictures here from these first 2 tweets. We have a bunch of people around some pink chairs and some little barricade thingies. We have people with bricks and bottles and Home Depot buckets. Black trans lives matter. Do they even know like what protests they're at anymore? Why is there a toboggan? Did I see the photos of the bricks they shipped in? I have not. But based on like the weird palette of bricks that happened during the Summer of Love, I wouldn't put it past some shit poster to also just buy a pallet of bricks and put them around any time a riot happens. A little American flag on fire. And this is the repeat of that other picture in the second post. And there's some trash can shields. I feel like those don't take long to make. These would, though. American capitalism is racist oppression. Yes, it's racist oppression that I, as an incredibly poor person who grew up in a very terrible neighborhood with my mother, who's been poor my entire life and has battled mental health issues for a very long time, was able to somehow start making money to actually afford to live through just yapping on the internet. American capitalism is definitely racist oppression. Be on the right side of history, not the white side of history. Well, if that isn't blatant, I don't know what the fuck is. Because the right side of history should include all people, which means it should include white people. Like, the only thing I get from this sign is that they want white people eradicated. That's kind of fucking crazy to say. This person, Kata Gaitan, in total, each shield takes about 3 hours to make and requires passing through multiple groups of volunteers before it's finished. All materials and time to produce them is donated, and the shields are offered free of charge to BIPOC protesters and $10 for everyone else. Ghost, Viv, and the volunteers have made about 250 shields so far, and build between 30 and 55 shields made per session. Isn't that kind of ironic to have a shield that says American capitalism, money equals money, racist oppression, and then selling that for $10? Isn't that kind of ironic that you're making something like this and then you would sell it for $10? I mean, I feel like you could at least get 40, let's be fucking real, first of all. Second of all, if you really stood by principle, they would be fucking free. They would be free. They lack self-awareness, please understand. 3, those shields are not cardboard signs. They're designed to look like cardboard signs. They're in fact made of plywood and have metal handles as seen in the pics below. They have a cardboard sign attached to the front to disguise the fact that they're made out of wood. That seems kind of dangerous. Friends in LA looking to go protest today and any other day during this time, make your signs a shield to deflect as best you can projectiles. If you want a better sign on the front, just spray adhesive your printed our sign on the wood. Fuck LAPD, they made us drop our shields that were made of cardboard and boogie boards, declared them weapons, and then cornered us in a tunnel and started charging at us and shooting left and right while we were all stuck with no protection. These are the so-called weapons. Again, they're supposedly made of wood with cardboard on the front to disguise what they actually are.
They came with a goddamn U-Haul for war.
Whoa. What's in the U-Haul? Oh, shields.
So
Shields in the U-Haul.
They came this way for a strategy. You gotta actually see that they came here for a strategy, why they came to the street, okay? This shit is really organized, you guys, all right? You guys, this shit is really organized. I said, like the other dude, why don't you just cut downtown? Well, there were some white people that let them know where they should go.
Jingle, jingle. Oh, I just cracked my jaw. I could barely hear him as well, but he was just saying, like, this shit is organized. Bringing out shields from the U-Haul. He said something about white people, but I couldn't understand it. How dare they? And you get a shield, you get a shield, everyone gets a shield. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they say, like, even if it is wood, 3 hours? I don't know about that. Please wear PPE to the LA protest. You need a helmet, you need a mask and respirator, you need goggles, you need gloves. But if you can't afford to buy them, it's okay. You can pick up PPE and receive medical attention at the Skid Row Museum. This is mutual aid. We keep us safe. This says respirators, helmets, masks, goggles, gloves, free PPE tonight, 7 p.m. until supplies run out. The Skid Row Museum. We have medics here. I doubt they're real medics. If you need safety gear or medical attention, come to the Skid Row Museum. Tell everyone. This is what community looks like. Last night I got $500 worth of supplies to have dropped off in Paramount. This morning I got $1,800 worth and brought it to City Hall. Just now I got $1,500 worth and brought it to the Skid Row Museum. All of the funds were donated to me by the at SupaFamilia_KC community. What the fuck? Actually organized? And the tweet text here with the picture says, in 2020, these shields were brought in and distributed to rioters and organized drops. In LA, we see the same strategy. They hand out protective equipment to rioters who then use them in their attacks. And that's pick 3. This is, I guess, them sorting through supplies. Note the same Home Depot bucket in picks 2 and 3. Well, I mean, to be fair, they could have more than one Home Depot bucket. But yeah, there is a Home Depot bucket in both of these pictures. He does make that good point. It isn't just the shields that are planned, everything is, from what rioters wear to the tactics used in each situation. They're implementing highly developed theory of protest violence in order to create pressure and try to force politicians to give in. I'll show you. To see how this works, we need to understand the tactics that they're using. The first strategy is to put their target in a decision dilemma by implementing a method of protest that leaves the person with no good options. No matter how the target reacts, they look bad. And this is a principle, put your target in a decision dilemma. It's a Veterans for Peace t-shirt. I legitimately cannot tell if this is a man or a woman. So I'm going to assume that this is just an AI. In sum, design your action so that your target is forced to make a decision, and all of their available options play to your advantage. If you design your action well, you can force your target into a situation where they have to respond, but have no good options, where they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. In fact, many actions with concrete goals, such as blockades, sit-ins, tree something, require such a decision dilemma in order to be successful. Consider the blockade of a building. A tactically effective blockade leaves your target with only 2 options. 1, to negotiate with you and meet your demands, or 2, react with force, violence against you, or arrest. That's a decision dilemma. Don't let your target walk out the back door, and don't put yourself in a situation where they can wait you out with impunity. You must force a clear decision dilemma. Without it, you let your target and/or the police determine the success of your action, rather than calling the shots yourself. Be sure to cover all the exits, literally or figuratively. Literally calling for taking hostages, holy shit. Creative activists can adapt this tactical insight to force their target into a similar dilemma on the symbolic level. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, you always force your opponent to choose. The problems is a president like Trump doesn't give a damn how he looks, and we need more people like that. The people that are like, optics don't matter. I want to make sure people are safe and we don't negotiate with terrorists. We need to go back to the red-blooded American, we don't negotiate with terrorists mantra. That strategy is paired with the real action is your target's reaction, in which rioters use people's reactions to the protests against them. The goal here is to try and force the authorities to overreact so rioters can play martyr for the camera. Look at that disgusting panda bear. And here's more. In sum, when taking on a big and well-known target, it is often the target's reaction to your action that's the key to success. Therefore, anticipate your target's reactions and write them into your script. Is this what fucking anal violence was doing, but I didn't react in the way that they expected me to, so they kept writing dumber and dumber shit? During the Salt March of 1930, wow, they really have to reach far back for that one. Indian independence activists famously kept walking unarmed and undeterred into the brutal blows of British police. Importantly, the press were there, activists made sure of it, to document the colonial government playing the villain in predictably despicable fashion. The Indian nation rallied to the cause. World public opinion followed. Well, see, now they say the British police. So do they mean like Indian, like American native Indian, or do they mean Indian, like the 7-Eleven store owner Indian? Like, I'm a little confused now. Anal Violence forgot he's going against an audience of people who had a shitload of money who stopped giving 2 fucks about optics. 7-Eleven, okay. The Curries, okay. All right. British Raj, I was like, well, now I'm just confused. I don't know what's happening here. And also, why were the British police beating Indians? I don't know what the Salt March is. The Indian nation rallied to the cause. World public opinion followed. Organizer Saul Alinsky, wait, I know that name, but I don't remember why, later coined the term political jiu-jitsu to describe actions like this. Confrontations like the Salt March enable under-resourced activist groups to use a powerful opponent's momentum against them by provoking a reaction, and then watching them fall flat, literally or figuratively, in front of the cameras. When applying this principle, it's important to understand that you can't just hope the target reacts in a way that spotlights the injustice. Whenever possible, plan for your target's reactions, encourage them, and incorporate them into the action. If it doesn't work the first time, adjust and try again. Yeah, always double down on your shitty decisions. A good way to ensure that you get a strategically useful reaction from your target is to force them into a decision dilemma. See principle, put your target into a decision dilemma, where all of their available options play to your advantage. When the Yes Men, impersonating a spokesperson for Dow Chemical, announced on BBC TV that Dow was apologizing for the Bhopal disaster and allocating $12 billion to compensate the victims. Dow's stock plummeted and they were forced to react. Dow had to issue a statement saying they were not apologizing for the Bhopal disaster and would not be compensating the victims. And that was the big tell. Here, once again, the action, happily and by design, was dwarfed by the target's reaction. As the Dow Chemical case illustrates, you don't need a physical confrontation to make good theater. In 2000, the Bush campaign sued activist Zach Exley and tried to shut down his prank website, gwbush.com, a domain Exley had managed to buy before the campaign had it. The press picked up the story, and with each new legal attack, Bush at one point saying, there ought to be limits to freedom. There was another wave of press sympathetic to the site and combative towards a hapless dolt who somehow ended up being president for 8 years. A sorry reminder that even the cleverest one-off tactic does not a successful campaign make. Contrary to popular belief, when one of the big boys threatens you, and if you use a company's trademark in an action, for example, you can count on a cease and desist letter. You should celebrate. You are the David to their Goliath, and now you have the upper hand. Take the best quotes, weave them into a press release, and voila! You've cast them in your play. In the timeless logic of jiu-jitsu, you have borrowed some of their power, and if coverage goes your way, you have used their offensive momentum to flip them on their backs. Everyone loves it when Goliath bites the dust. Interesting. Rules for Radicals. Is that what this is reading from? I've never actually read the Rules for Radicals. The final move is to lead with sympathetic characters. They put sympathetic people out front to garner sympathy and make them look like sympathetic underdogs fighting an uphill battle. This is why they brought a baby to the protest. It was an intentional, pre-planned move. It was a grandma with milk on her face. It's in sum, good actions tell a good story. Good stories revolve around sympathetic characters. Assembling a compelling cast of characters is a critical strategic consideration for any action designer. Actions tend to be strong on identifying and vilifying the antagonists of the narrative, but an audience will care much more about injustice if they can relate to the people who are being affected. Successful actions are often those that present strong protagonists and other sympathetic characters. The role of the messenger who delivers the story of an action is key. Messengers embody the message by putting a human face on conflict and placing the action within a larger context. Those most impacted by the issue tend to make for more sympathetic and compelling messengers. For instance, if the action is about farm workers, it can be more effective to amplify the voice of a small group of farm workers who are taking action than to have a larger group of non-farm workers speak on their behalf. Of course, solidarity actions certainly have their place. See the Taco Bell boycott. There's a Taco Bell boycott? This is reminding me of, like, it doesn't matter if you actually care about the plight of the people. If you can use them as a good optics tool, then they are useful to you and your cause. Which is like these people just sound evil, right? They're just like, we can't get people to believe in what we believe in unless we heavily manipulate them. And so we have to use these manipulation tactics, and we have to use people essentially as shields for our causes. And you know that, like, if anything untoward happens towards the people they use as shields, they're not gonna fucking care. Because the ends justify the means, as it were. You wonder why you might think that. I wonder why. They use your own principles against you? Yeah, exactly. Again, it's like, It's like in the Palestine-Israel conflict when, like, I don't know if they still do, but like years ago, they would like use children as shields because they knew the IDF wouldn't shoot through children because the IDF had brain cells, I suppose. And so they were like, if we use children as shields, we'll be protected. And it's like, that's still a fucked up way to think, my guy, because like, what if the IDF stopped caring about their principles? What if they were like, fuck it, we know what you're doing, and we know it'll be bad optics, but we're gonna stop capitulating, right? Like, what if they did that? They're counting on being able to use your principles against you. And that happens all the time on much smaller scale and a much less life or death situation as well. Now the IDF does shoot through the kids. GG Hamas. Oh, well, fuck, dude. I'm saying that was years ago that I remember hearing about that, so I don't know if it's still the case, because I don't really pay much attention to the sand war. Power holders understand the importance of deploying sympathetic characters. For instance, welfare cuts get presented as benefiting working mothers, or corporate tax cuts sold as job creation tools to help the unemployed. Time and again, the powerful play one group of sympathetic characters off of one another, or argue with Orwellian duplicity that the victims of a policy will actually benefit from it. Time and again, we read that. The powerful play one group of sympathetic characters off another, or argue with Orwellian duplicity that the victims of a policy will actually benefit from it. In these cases, a campaign becomes a contest over who gets to speak for those suffering. With whom do we sympathize, and are those characters actually given space to speak for themselves? A showdown results between messengers jockeying to represent themselves as the authentic representatives of the impacted constituencies. In recent years, we have seen several uprisings against repressive governments framed explicitly around sympathetic characters. In Myanmar, monks became the new face of the pro-democracy movement, replacing the students of the 1988 mobilizations as the primary messengers. Obviously, many factions of society supported the movement, but with the monks at the front of the marches, it was clear that the pro-democracy movement spoke for the conscience of the nation. Similarly, in Pakistan, lawyers became the face of the fight against government impunity. Who better to embody the message of a need to respect the rule of law than lawyers? It's important to ensure that the faces of the action are not just representative of the relevant impacted community, but are also easily recognizable to outsiders as key characters in the story. This can come down to the crude but important dynamics of costuming. A single religious leader wearing religious sacraments will communicate that people of faith are involved in the action better than 20 religious leaders wearing jeans and sweatshirts. See the principle of don't dress like a protester. Interesting. Potential pitfalls here. The dynamics of who gets to speak, how the characters are portrayed, and who is cast as the hero, victims, and villains are deeply entwined in the dynamics of power and privilege. Activists should take care not to play into narratives of victimization that plague marginalized communities. Navigating these dynamics skillfully and authentically is essential to successful actions and campaigns. Do you guys remember when Bernie Sanders was running for president? And those two black women came on stage and he just like slinked off and stood in the corner like a fucking cuck. And like literally everyone immediately lost respect for him. That's like, reading that last sentence was like the only thing I could fucking think of. Like that was so fucking pathetic. And you can't have someone that pathetic as a world leader. Once again, I am asking for your financial support. Baby, do not bring babies to protests. Like, I don't understand how you can bring a child to something like this and people feel sympathetic. Because, like, to me, it's just like, damn, you are a shitty parent. Your child should be nowhere fucking near here. Putting it all together, by blocking a road using benches as barricades, they give the authorities no option but to use force. And by having a baby, they force the police into an impossible situation, using force without harming a baby. It puts police in an impossible situation. And I mean, yeah, that is correct. It does put police in an impossible situation. But the fact that anyone would be brain damaged enough to take the side of the protesters who are the ones who brought the baby there in the first place are part of the fucking problem. Like, that's not sympathetic. That's just like, damn, bitch, go the fuck home. Your baby doesn't belong here. The principle at work behind this entire strategy is play to the audience that isn't there. Activists pick their tactics and strategies based on optics. They want to make themselves look like sympathetic underdogs to the audience seeing it on YouTube or watching the news. And I mean, I guess in a much less evil way, this is kind of what I do when it comes to people spreading misinformation. Like, I understand if somebody is out there lying about me and what I believe or what I've done, I understand that there's no way to change their opinion or to make them stop lying. Because if they weren't going to lie about me, their posts wouldn't exist in the first place. So when I correct the record from these liars, I don't do it to change their mind, because that won't happen. I do it for the people looking in who don't know who I am, who don't know my content, who don't know what I think, and the chance that they will actually believe the truth instead of the lies being told about me. And this page says, when you're pulling off a prank or staging some kind of media spectacle, it's important to keep in mind that those you're directly confronting are often not your main audience. When Occupy Wall Street activists swarm Manhattan's financial district, or Bhopal activists camp out on the lawn of the CEO of Union Carbide, there's no reason to think that the immediate audience will change their minds based on what they're observing. Rather, the idea is to use immediate audience as unwitting actors in a theater piece that is being performed for a secondary audience. That secondary audience is comprised of film goers or YouTube viewers or TV watchers, press release readers, and they're the ones you care most about. Design your intervention with them in mind. Yeah, it sounds exactly like what I do to counter misinformation. But it's like, I'm not doing it for propagandistic purposes. I just look at lies, I quote the lies, and then I'm like, here's the receipts and why these are baseless lies. If reporters are going to be present, consider how things will look through their eyes. Regardless, however, make sure to document your own actions. See principle, do the media's work for them. Choreograph the action so you create and capture the moments you need to tell the story you want to tell. When Agitprop pulled off their public option anti-guerrilla musical, See Case, they snuck more videographers into the conference than singers. Obviously, the secondary audience is not always your focus. At a rally, say, the key audience might actually be the participants themselves. With most strikes or sit-ins, the key audience is the actual target, a CEO or public official, and your aim is to disrupt business as usual and exact a cost that will pressure your target to accede to your demands. They just sound like literally fucking crazy. And I think people are finally getting wise to their tactics, and that's why it's not working quite as well as it used to. The propaganda has become too noticeable and too disruptive, and people are fucking sick of it. But even with some of the more disruptive actions, the key audience is not in the room. When Tim DeChristopher disrupted a Utah oil and gas auction in 2008, he was not tempted to address the other bidders directly. His action was for a much larger audience, as well as for the land itself that he helped to save. All of these strategies and tactics were used to create actions which activists can turn to their advantage. When they do this correctly, they can paint themselves as the sympathetic, powerless underdogs, even when they are the aggressors. It's social and political jujitsu. This is what Bint did, this is what Nyara did, this is what Anna Valens did after they got called out. As soon as we started pushing back on their lies and their narrative, all of them started claiming to be the victims, claiming the harassment was against them, claiming that they had done nothing wrong. You hate how they write this so much? I mean, it's good that they write it, right? Because you can understand their tactics if they spell it out for you. Which is why, even if it's like really bland and boring corporate schlock, I think it's important to read what the bridge people say themselves. That isn't to say they aren't also intentional in doing damage. They are. The book Black Bloc, White Riot, Anti-Globalization, and the Genealogy of Dissent by author A.K. Thompson is the starting place for the theory of what counts as violence and when violence is justified. Alex Hundert defended a diversity of tactics, which is a euphemism for allowing violence at protests. Hundert explicitly states a commitment to non-violence is dogmatic and stifles debate about which tactics to use. Violence is a part of the strategy, as we will see. The 21st century analysis is moving beyond the empty rhetoric of revolutionary acts. We no longer wish to seize the machinery of the state to use it for our own ends. We wish to see it dismantled, to be replaced by something other than a new Euro-American colonialism. A better world than that is possible. But it cannot come about until we move beyond the dominant paradigms of our culture. Statism and white supremacy must be resigned to the dustbins of history. Why do they think that white supremacy was ever like an overarching belief that the majority of the world had? Like, where does this come from? Part of the strength of the anti-Olympic campaign as a watershed for the new anti-colonial movement has been the solidarity and unity around a diversity of tactics. Part of the solidarity is rooted in the idea that you cannot attack a part of the movement without attacking the whole. When we remember to defend each other, we also remember to work together to build the movement and our communities. This is why they were saying that, like, white women are actual enemies because they voted en masse for Trump instead of sticking to the reservation with everyone else. This cannot be done by succumbing to the classic colonial tactic of divide and conquer. Diversity of tactics means that one day we smash the system, and the next we build alternatives. The black bloc is a wrecking ball tactic that makes space for more mainstream or creative tactics. The anarchists who participate in the bloc are, for the most part, solid community organizers and people who are at the forefront of making space for creative alternatives to capitalism and colonialism. A diversity of tactics is meant to be complementary. Different tactics demonstrate different values and objectives, and all must be viewed in sum. For Judy Rebick to suggest that black bloc tactics put other people and the issues we're fighting for in jeopardy is just preposterous. The mass audiences that dismiss the heart attack march are consistently the same mass audiences who generally dismiss every form of direct action and every radical cause. Judy may be too used to her celebrity status to notice, but most people aren't paying attention to start with. So-called non-violent direct action, with rare exceptions, is also summarily dismissed by most people most of the time. They want us to go through so-called proper channels, not understanding that the system exists to perpetuate itself, not to accommodate change or the empowerment of communities under attack. Begging the government for change merely legitimizes their claim to be the rightful authority over land and people. Too many, enamored with the cult of nonviolence, have too easily parroted the conservative media narratives that so predictably hamper our movements. Further, it is not unity under a commitment to a diversity of tactics that stifle debate within our movement. That is what we call solidarity. It is a zealous adherence to dogmatic nonviolence that shuts down any meaningful dialogue. And that's why, like, when I think about sometimes how, I don't want to say hopeless, but just like how it feels like there's nothing you can do. It's like, I don't want to start perpetuating a, like, violence is the only option left kind of dialogue, because once you go down that road, things become very, very dangerous for everyone involved. And I don't want to believe that there will be a situation that violence is the only option. And I think that people who think, like, whatever fucking weirdo is writing this shit have fallen prey to incredible extremist ideas, and they know that their ideas don't hold up to scrutiny, and that their ideas are very unpopular, and so that's why they immediately just turn to violence, and that anything besides violence is legitimizing your enemies. And it's a weird frame of mind to come from. Leftist academics theorized... Alien academics theorize how violence could be used to build political leverage. Oberlin professor Jenny Garcia explains how violent protests make it a more salient issue and provide greater pressure on elected officials and candidates. How did the summer of love go? How did that fucking go for you guys? What are the optics like after that? Holy shit.
As a result, I think that there are some good opportunities for actually placing sustained pressure on the institutions themselves and elected officials. So one of the ways that we need to do this is through the continuations of protests. And protests, even when there is violence, right, actually can make it a more salient issue and can provide greater pressure on elected officials and candidates. So being able to place extraordinary pressure on these officials, nominating your own candidates, can prove to be highly successful. What we know in political science is protest matters. And actually, when we see destruction of buildings, when we see violence, either by police or either by protesters themselves, we actually see greater response by elected officials. And when
it's just literally like coercion, man. Like, oh, they'll do what we want the more violent we get. You know, that guy that got burned alive in a gas station, that's collateral damage, baby. Oh, we needed the politicians to react. Holy fuck. When you start turning to terrorism as like a legitimate form of protest, you have completely lost the fucking plot. Like, that is insane. Cult of nonviolence coming from the people who call anything microaggression and toxic masculinity. I know. Lady looks like she smoked meth before getting on the call. For political ends, you think the word is terrorism. You may not like coercion, but coercion works. The left has shown that time and time again. They've shown that the coercion has worked, and that's why we lived under the boot of cancel culture for so fucking long. And I hate having lived under that boot. And I don't want to finally cut their leg off so they can no longer use the boot, to then put the boot on myself. I don't want to be the same kind of shitty person that my enemies are.
We see the sustained effort. So even over this 10-day period of time, that's an extraordinary feat. And so when we see this sustained effort, we see elected officials feeling more and more pressure. And while it certainly takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, what we do know is that elected officials do respond to pressure, right? If they feel their electoral livelihood is based upon this, they will respond. And we've seen
It's very unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, she hasn't been wrong for the past several decades. Isn't this just a political version of Cheryl fucking Deja? Pretty much. What if it's a really cute looking boot? I mean, for people like this, right? You live by the sword, you die by the sword. I don't fucking care about this woman. She can get everything she advocates for 1,000-fold back on her. But I don't want to start, wearing the boot and using it on people that don't deserve it, and using like the coercion tactics like they do on just normal fucking people, right? And it's like, again, if it's a specific person and it's their own tactics being used against them, they deserve it. That's fine and dandy. That's why it's not cancel culture to defend yourself from cancel culture. But it's like, I don't want to become the way that they are towards innocent people, as it were. That's how fascism, real actual fascism, gains traction. The only thing fascism has to offer normal people is security and safety. If people are safe and secure, they have nothing to offer normal people. Rampant criminality is how police states come into power. They need their enemies to be politically violent to gain actual power. Splarky, thank you. Have I seen the Mexican president give her take on the riots? She sees them as Mexicans first. It's an invasion. Not sure I can talk this down. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything from her directly, but I've seen other people posting that the Mexican president said that, they're Mexicans first and they're advocating for themselves and shit. And it's just like, well, if the Mexican president is going to condone it, wouldn't that unironically make it a fucking invasion? Like, hold on, wait a minute. Kirsche just wants to grill. I do. And I will defend my right to grill. And if you come and you try to tell me I have to grill bugs instead of meat, well, I will cut you down in front of me, right? But like, I don't want to be mean to people that don't deserve it, as it were. These tactics are not new. David Graeber explains that in 2000, protesters at the Summit of the Americas had green, yellow, and red zones of protest. Each color represented a level of violence allowed. Green was non-violent, yellow was obstructive, and red was disruptive. Direct Action, an Ethnography by David Graeber. The end, of course, there is too much opposition. A woman from CASA, who I think was called Celine, began by summarizing the information already printed in the handouts. Celine said, "These color blocks are not fixed, and they will not necessarily be physically separate, though we will have one area reserved for the green block. They are: the green block is the more artistic, festive style of demo, where there is no risk of having to defend themselves. The yellow block is obstructive. This is classic non-violent civil disobedience. It is defensive, non-violent blockades or attempt to occupy ground, for example, which involve a definitive risk of arrest. The red block is disruptive. This is the disturbance block, which will try to disrupt the summit, where participants would be aware of high risk of repression and arrest. We are expecting creative, diverse styles of disruptive action here." And this makes me think how whenever like the news tries to cover for these people, they're always like, well, there were some bad actors, but it was a minority. They were fiery but peaceful protests. The majority of them are non-violent. And it's in the entire narrative's favor if more and more people continue to parrot about the non-violence, because it doesn't matter if there were people being non-violent. The non-violent people support those doing violence. They just don't want to be doing the violence themselves. And this green block, yellow block, red block really explains that, where they're all working together, they're working in tandem, but they put the people willing to take the risk to get arrested, to do violence, in a separate place from those who want to just sit there and be festive style. Small vocal minority. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just so we're clear, obstructive is a euphemism for blocking roads, entrances, and so forth, and disruptive is a euphemism for the use of violence and property damage to try and shut things down. The use of sophisticated, pre-planned violence goes back a long way, and it is backed by a set of academic theories about how violence, property damage, blockades, and so forth can be used to put pressure on the authorities and create political leverage that can be used to extract concessions from politicians, businesses, and other groups. As Data Republican has shown, see her thread for details, these protests are created, funded, and organized by people with large networks and resources. My goal is to explain the theoretical foundation that the rioters' tactics and strategies are built on. Who is behind the anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles? Hundreds took to the streets this weekend, blocking roads, attacking officers, burning flags. This wasn't spontaneous. This was organized, funded, coordinated. Here's a breakdown of the groups, the money, and the people pulling the strings. A number of NGOs have been implicated in this. Foremost is Coalition for Humane Immigration Rights, or CHIRLA, and the photos of signs show they were printed by PSL Web, or the Party for Socialism and Liberation. That's true. They have to have their branding on there, you know? Our community is under attack and has been terrorized. Angela Salas, executive director of the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, or CHIRLA, told the crowd of protesters, "These are workers, these are fathers, these are mothers. And they can go back to their countries and continue to be workers and fathers and mothers." CHIRLA has the EIN of their bunch of numbers. Most of its private funding appears to be from DAFs, which are the hardest to trace. However, 34 million of its reported 45 million in revenue are from government grants. If they're getting government grants, does that mean that tax dollars are going towards this? That's kind of fucking wild. In their most recent year, CHIRLA jumped from 12 million to 34 million in government grants. Nice. However, this is probably from California, only 450K in federal grants. Government grant contributions, 33.9 million here in 2023. 2022 was 12.3 million. Damn, that is a huge fucking jump. Jesus Christ. Was that U.S. aid funding, you think? Federal contract income, federal grants income, so they had zero contract. Largest funding agencies, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. These are their 2 federal grants, both completed, now moving on to PSL Web. Outward amounts, description, CHIRLA's application for the fiscal year 2021 Citizenship and Integration Grant Program, Citizenship Instruction and Naturalization Application Services. And this is fiscal year 2022, and they outlaid the $250,000, $57,800 of non-federal funding, and then $307,000 total funding. The group which printed the signs for protest, Party for Socialism and Liberation, is not a non-profit. They are a literal communist party. Finding financials is tricky, but this person did find a wiki reference to Answer Coalition. A Party for Socialism and Liberation is a claimed Marxist-Leninist political party in the United States, founded in June 2004 after a split from the Workers' World Party. Their platform is closely related to the broader Answer Coalition. The PSL has funded numerous movements within the Answer Coalition, including the movement to liberate Cuba from Statesian imperialism. The PSL held its first Congress in February 2010 in Los Angeles, California. Wow! What a surprise! Answer Coalition is mentioned on their Wikipedia page to have significant financial overlap. Act Now to Stop War and End Racism, also known as International Answer, and the Answer Coalition is a United States-based protest umbrella group consisting of many anti-war and civil rights organizations. Formed in the wake of the September 11th attacks, Answer has since helped organize many of the largest anti-war demonstrations in the United States. I mean, I definitely would be anti-war, but I am not pro-commie, so this is kind of fucking strange, man. This says that these are contributing government agencies. City of Falmdale, LA County Department of Consumer and Business, LA County Department of Arts and Culture, California Arts Council, California Governor's Office of Emergency SVC, Office of Planning and Research, CDSS Immigrant Services, California Department of Social Services, CDSS FF, I don't know what that is, Department of Financial Protection and Innovation, LA County, CDSS SG, I don't know what that is, and the Department of Homeland Security. I'm going to say take this list with a grain of salt because I don't know who it's from or where it's from. There's no source here. So this could just be someone wrote some shit in a Word document and posted it, so have no idea how real it is. It is tough to find backings on either groups as they do not have a nonprofit associated with them. Both claim to be funded entirely by members. However, I did find a New York Post article claiming that both are funded by billionaire socialist Neville Singer. I don't even know who that is. Both the PSL and Answer Coalition are connected to People's Forum, a Manhattan-based nonprofit which has ties to the Chinese Communist Party through funding from Singam 71. All three groups have been involved in anti-Israel protest, with the People's Forum having a cadre of operatives embedded at Columbia University, an epicenter of protest. Neville Roy Singham is an American businessman and social activist. He's the founder and former chairman of ThoughtWorks, an IT counseling company that provides custom software tools, and consulting services, which he sold to a private equity firm for $785 million in 2017. In 2019, Singham started a consulting business with partners who are active in the propaganda apparatus of the Chinese Communist Party and who co-own a company with a municipal government that promotes anti-poverty policies. A socialist and supporter of Maoism, according to the New York Times, Singham has provided significant funding for media outlets, organizations, and politicians around the world that promote pro-Chinese government propaganda. Singham's father, Archibald Singham, was Sri Lankan, while his mother was Cuban. In his youth, Singham was a member of the League of Revolutionary Black Workers, a black nationalist Maoist group, taking a job at Chrysler in Detroit in 1972 as an activist in the group. He attended Howard University before starting a consulting firm for equipment leasing companies from his Chicago home. Suspected D.C. Jewish museum terrorist Elias Rodriguez has links to radical groups funded by socialist multimillionaire Neville Singham. What the fuck? If you're a socialist billionaire, you're in the ruling party's pocket? Yeah, 1,000%. Like, you can't be a billionaire and a socialist at the same time. You are for redistributing other people's money so you can keep your elite class. Ain't it weird how all of these eat the rich communists keep being funded by billionaires? It do be weird. Singham also financed the People's Forum, giving it over $20 million. All three Singham finance organizations were heavily involved in the Columbia protest. And we did read that screenshot. This one says, the People's Forum received more than $20 million in grants from Singham, much of it filtered through the Goldman Sachs Philanthropy Fund, a fiscal sponsor, as the Post previously reported. Another group, the Bronx Anti-War Coalition, is also connected to groups in Singham's orbit. The Bronx group applauded the members of the Israeli diplomats on X Thursday. What a weird thing to do. What Elias Rodriguez did is the highest expression of anti-Zionism, a tweet from the group proclaimed. Jesus Christ, man. The SEIU-CA president got arrested. This person researched the SEIU's financials, but they're mostly dues-backed. And it just says, a local union leader was hospitalized during a confrontation in response to immigration raids in downtown Los Angeles Friday. David Huerta, president of the Service Employees International Union California and SEIU, United Service Workers West, was injured during his arrest. Huerta was also tased. And then this moves on to other organizations. Million Voters Project was involved in promoting, here's the magical D word, democracy, on the MVP website. Democracy can't work for us until it includes us. You're here illegally. Get the fuck out. Million Voter Project to get their funding from a variety of grants, no taxpayer funding. Who is Neville Singham? China-linked tech tycoon has a secret group of operatives at Columbia University. Who is buying the cinder blocks? That's also a good question. These riots implement a set of very specific tactics and theories which operate according to a theoretical foundation built by radical professors for the purpose of helping woke activists manipulate, create, and control the cultural narrative in order to get political wins. The worst thing that we can do right now is overreact. The entire point of these riots is to make the police, the mayor, and the other authorities overreact. They're absolutely 100% baiting the police and the Trump administration into overreacting. That's the play. I know this because the book that all of these tactics come from is called Beautiful Trouble, and one of the co-authors lived in this person's city. He used to run activism camps and make appearances at the university this person attended while they were there. He knows these people firsthand. Beautiful Trouble is a toolbox for revolution from the people who brought you Yes Men, Billionaires for Bush, assembled by Andrew Boyd. Generating momentum, activist training with Beautiful Trouble. The highlighted portion says, I recently got to experience firsthand Beautiful Trouble's usefulness at a training resource when I was invited to participate in Generating Momentum, a youth activist training camp organized by the Saskatchewan Council for International Cooperation, the SCIC, and the Regina Public Interest Research Group. Co-author of Beautiful Trouble, Dave Mitchell, was the chief of staff to the leader of the leftist political party in Saskatchewan, while this person was working in the legislature for one of the government ministers. This person is telling us that they know exactly how these tactics are used. Mitchell was arrested in a protest at the Summit of the Americas in 2001, the same summit that was mentioned earlier, in which there were red, yellow, and green zones, saying from experience they're trying to force the Trump administration to overreact. And this is from 2001. A young man from Saskatoon has been formally charged in connection with the protest at the weekend Summit of the Americas. Ryan Maley says police charged him overnight, but the charge was laid in French, and Maley is still checking the exact translation. As a result, he isn't sure what the specific charge is. Dave Mitchell of Moose Jaw and Jeff Ward from Regina were also arrested on the weekend. They are expected to be released sometime Monday. You can't win the battle here with a brutal crackdown, since that only gives the protesters what they want, a chance to look like underdogs being abused by police. Since this person knows the people who created the tactics, he's going to say the strategy to beat them. The first thing is to refuse to overreact. In the battle for optics, the team that looks worst loses, and the way the police lose is by overreacting. The second thing is to recognize that protests run on energy and momentum, so you need strategy to drain their momentum. The way to do this is twofold. First, begin by making arrests of only the worst and most violent offenders. The goal is to get the most dangerous people off the streets while highlighting the most violent elements of the protest. The second part is very important. By highlighting the worst offenders, you begin to build a narrative about how violent the protests are. Normal people don't like violence, and a steady stream of announcements about the arrests of violent protesters frames the protests are violent. I don't think you even really need to frame it, right? I mean, I guess you have to now that the news is trying to be like, these are just some kids having fun, burning cars and watching them burn. It's not violent.
Large group of people, it could turn very volatile if you move law enforcement in there in the wrong way and turn what is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn into a massive confrontation and altercation between officers and demonstrators.
This will both decrease the political pressure to restore order, because people will want the arrest as proof the police are doing something without overreacting, while simultaneously framing the protest as violent and making it harder for the prosecutors to recruit normal people. Protesters to recruit normal people. By the time you are finished arresting the worst protesters, the people will already be sick of the riots and disorder. Then you can begin arresting the rest of the violent people and the people who are engaged in non-violent obstruction of things like roads and bridges. People will have lost their patience for road blocking. People usually give road blockers a few hours or a day to make their point before they get sick of blocked roads. So then you can begin to arrest the road blockers while using exactly the following messaging. The right to free speech in America does not mean you can prevent ambulances and fire trucks from reaching the people that need them. Protesters have no right to make fire trucks sit in traffic while buildings burn, or make ambulances sit in traffic while people die. The problem with waiting for this to happen again is that this has already happened previously, that people died in ambulances because of these roadblocks that were happening during the Summer of Love. This framing makes the protesters look like they are taking the city hostage, which they are, and makes them look even worse in light of the violence that LA has seen. When you hit this stage, you'll begin to notice public opinion shift very quickly. Once the people see the protests as violent and see the protesters are holding the city hostage, they will begin to turn against the protesters, and more importantly, the cause that the protesters support. Once that happens, the protests begin to backfire on the protesters. When protesters realize public opinion is turning against them, it will begin to destroy their energy and momentum, and the protests will begin to die out. At this point, we have to make sure that this never happens again. Here's how we do that, and what you do want to avoid is the January 6th mistake. The authorities charged people who were peacefully just for being there, and this made it look like the authorities were overreacting. What you want to do is start charging and convicting everyone involved in any violent attacks. The goal is to create a steady stream of convictions over the next couple of years so that the public sees a steady stream of protester convicted of assault stories in the news. 2 years of such stories will solidify the narrative that the protests were violent. 2 years? I don't know, man. That's a pretty long fucking time. I don't think people's attention spans go that long. I mean, it was definitely an interesting thread. I don't agree with everything that was stated here. And again, grain of salt, I don't know who this person is, but interesting. confirmed the screenshot was legit. It was from the official California DOJ website. The organization Coalition for Human Immigrant Rights is confirmed funded by that list of government entities. God damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I had a couple of updates on our little pedophile guy from the riots the other night.
Flashback.
It's dead, Jim.
I'm not even gay though.
Oh, me neither.
I was just kidding. I am.
Me too.
That's fucking funny. You guys are cool, man. I want to adopt you guys as my little brothers.
Oh, dude.
How old are you? 19?
I'm 15.
Almost.
No way. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh.
It's okay though.
Oh my gosh.
But if you're 15?
Yeah.
I thought you guys were like 19, 20.
No, I wish.
How old are you? You're like
I'm 13.
13. Oh my gosh.
Can we?
How old are you?
I can't tell if they're lying or
Oh,
not.
awesome. So these are kids.
Can we get your number?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we
I'll
could
be
like
your uncle.
No, but
No, we're
let's
just
like hang out. Yeah, we're trying to do
Yeah,
something. We're trying to
What
do
the
something.
fuck?
I'll find out like
What the fuck is
I'll find some
Have you ever had
another
three-way?
15-year-old for you guys or 16
No.
or however.
What the fuck?
We like older. We like older.
Yeah, I know, but I'm cute. But I'm
Wait,
cute, huh?
Your secret's safe with us. Well, are we
No
cute?
one would
Are we
know.
cute?
They're live streaming. It's not a secret.
Get this guy's number. He's
Okay,
cool.
but they're watching from. They came to watch. Let's go talk to the guys.
wait.
Let's go.
Is this where TikTok streamers are like, what the fuck am I witnessing?
All right, sorry, but it is gay pride though.
Wait,
and they're
wait,
trying to
It is gay pride. It's fine. We're watching live grooming. What is happening?
Just type
What is happening?
End of flashback.
So obviously you can tell that I am just jarred out of my mind that this guy is live grooming on the street. And we had like a good hour and a half of like this weird groomer content happening for the whole stream. I was like, obviously I'm not gonna post an hour and a half of like clips on Twitter. That'd be kind of fucking weird, right? That'd be kind of fucking strange, right? But some retard decided to quote retweet and say grooming is when being chill and being okay with someone younger than you and wanting to set them up with people their age. Damn crazy, I didn't know. Legit, all of my IRL homies are child groomers, apparently. Be so fucking for real, that is not grooming. And let me see if I can find it really quick here. Because a lot of people started dumping a lot of fucking logs on this guy. And I was not prepared for just how fucking brain damaged they were. Let me see if I can find them. Okay, so here's one. This is a collage of this person. It's a huge fucking collage of them saying crazy shit. Of them being like, Lamau, lolicons, my work here is done, see ya. I'd rather be Drake's right-hand man than a lolicon. At least I'd be a pedo and rich in a place I'd like than just a sad incel. So unable to groom, they just claim fiction while using alt accounts to try and groom kids. What a strange take. At least I don't look at fictional images. I would be rich and actually molesting kids. What a fucking strange thing to say. What a strange thing to say. And it's like, I don't know, there's a following list here. I don't know what this is supposed to mean because I'm not that terminally online. I don't know Twitter accounts. This says, the guy defending the groomer said, he never botted anything. Y'all just say whatever one of your tweets pop off because you're mad. And the other guy said, shut the fuck up. You watch child gore for a hobby. And the groomer defender said, y'all keep reminding me that I do that. Like this is some kind of gotcha. Someone else said, it kind of is actually. Why the fuck do you do that? And the groomer defender said, it's oddly soothing to me. It's oddly soothing to this guy to watch child gore. Down here, this white screenshot, someone said, people respect honesty, that's a fact. Someone else said, only pedophiles respect other pedos, honestly, that's a fact. And the Maniac, the Crimson God guy said, fucking, that's subjective. Brother, what is this? We got Sleepy Joe here said, by the way, bitch, isn't that extremely hard to find? How are you able to see kids being murdered or dying? You probably had to actually go in between actual CSEM material to trudge towards watching kids dying. I think you've had more exposure to pedophilia than any of us have. And the groomer defender said, both are really easy to find if you know where to look. Y'all have no clue how many times I've needed to send anonymous tips about websites. It's concerning, really. Somehow I don't believe this man is sending anonymous tips. And he goes on to say, I literally look at gore of kids being murdered sometimes because I cannot fucking stand them that much. And I need to get myself less pissed when dealing with them somehow. and I'm the pedo. I like how there's a fucking result of IQ test down here, and he got a 95. I feel like that's a little high. I feel like the 95's a little high for this guy. Holy shit. Another tweet from the Groomer defender said, actually, I think pedophiles deserve any bad things that they want through done to them again 1,000 times worse. Yeah, you know, I would agree with that, but it seems like you're the one seeking out weird fucking child material, man. Actually... Well, yeah, man, it's totally normal for a 20 or 30-year-old person to be chill with a 13 to 15-year-old. Honestly, how do you type that drivel out and think there's nothing wrong with it? I'm gonna correct punished poop here. That gay groomer guy in the video from the riots, he said he was 52. So it's not even 20 to 30. He said he was 52. And the Groomer defender said, I literally know people IRL who hang out with people double their age, and I know damn well it's not any form of grooming. They see him as a bigger brother they never had, like the fucking dude in the video. Tell me you're hyper paranoid about friendships without saying it. You mean the dude hitting on minors? He did not hit on them a single time. You mean even when they mentioned a threesome and he said he can bring in another kid their age for them? You mean even that? Why was he winking at them when he kept saying, we won't do anything? It goes even further in the full video. Yeah, it's worse in the full video. It gets worse. Straight into the pit. Even the kids thought the guy was a predator. Yeah, like, it's just obviously fucking creepy, man. Obviously fucking creepy. Let's see if there was anything else here before I go into my second tweet. Looking at everything y'all are saying, nobody waters down pedophilia like lolicons do. Why is it their go-to thing to call everyone a lolicon? Like, I've even been called a lolicon when I have resoundingly said I don't like that stuff. It's like, it's the reason I stopped playing Blue Archive, man. I was like, I don't give a shit if you play Blue Archive. You can play it. It's not real. It's fiction. But I feel weird playing a game where there are underage children students hitting on me and calling me master and wanting me to go out on dates with them. I just don't want to play that game, man. The left sees lolicon as the new Satan. Like, it's weird as fuck. It's weird as fuck. What's this? More than ever, lolicons are proving that they're pedophiles. Lick clockwork. Like, he can't even spell right, man. This is the right-hand man tweet again. It's fucking real weird thing to say, brother. Diagnosed bipolar. #1 anime hater. Anti-lolicon. Oh, God, it keeps happening. It keeps happening. I wish Rev was around for the your likes are public thing, because I'm sure this guy has some crazy shit in his likes. But, I saw this. And I was like, damn. That's fucking weird. You would defend an obvious groomer out on the streets. So I said, imagine going online and defending a guy who's hitting on people who told them they were 15 years old and 13 years old. Need a hard drive check on this fucking Cryarch guy. Holy fuck. Let me play this.
We're here for the should I be honest now? What's not on Facebook Live? You guys.
Yeah, notice how he said not on Facebook Live. The groomer guy closed his stream, didn't know that these other guys were streaming. And he's like, yeah, now that I closed my stream, can I be honest now?
We're here for the should I be honest now? What's not on Facebook Live? You guys are so cute. I mean, but you guys could be like my sons or my grandsons. Wait, what?
This guy needs to shut the fuck up! What is he doing?
But now I feel bad for saying that because I'm like 4 times your age. But I'm not trying to hit on you. Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to hit on you. You're just like real cute. You could be my sons. I'm 4 times your age, but I'm not hitting on you, by the way.
Okay, wait. They're getting mad at us. Wait.
Yeah, get the fuck off this corner!
Wait, what?
My bad. Oh, is this your turf? Is this your turf?
Oh, there's gang wars between the illegals and the gays.
No, we don't have to worry. The cops are right here. Hey, I don't want no trouble.
Wait, what's the serious situation, bandana lady? The serious situation was like prior to this. They made one of the kick streamer kids made a joke about how he's illegal and from Mexico, and I guess the lady overheard them and thought that they were making light of a serious situation. You know, no fun allowed at the violent protest. By the way. Dude, this is the weirdest Alien versus Predator movie I've ever watched.
Wait for the cops. Should I be honest now?
And it keeps going. Like there's even more of this. And the only time the weird groomer guy disengaged from them was when he realized that the camera guy was some black dude, and at some point he like turned the camera around, and I was like, this camera guy is a fucking spirit animal of mine, because his face reflected what my face looked like, because this groomer guy just kept fucking going. And when he realized, like when the black camera guy turned the phone around and he saw like the chat and he realized that they were live streaming, that was the only time he disengaged from them. Like then they kept going on like, oh well, we did get his number, you know, like we could screw with him some more. And it's like, no, please do not try to catch a predator, this guy. This is an actual dangerous person. Please just report him to the police. And there was this video that I got linked. Someone said that the groomer guy showed up again in this video.
Sanctuary city.
It's a sanctuary city. I was part of the movement in Pomona, California to become one of the first sanctuary cities of the United States. But all it means is that we're not supposed to enforce immigration, and the police are not supposed to cooperate with ICE. We're supposed to make sure that our community and our hard workers and our children and our families are safe.
Makes me feel like shit.
Even in this interview, he couldn't help but mention the children. Like, how are you gonna take this guy fucking seriously talking about setting up sanctuary cities and protecting the kids when he's out here on the street hitting on people that he thinks are 15 and 13 years old? Holy shit, get him the fuck out.
I don't know why we're living in a police state in my city. Everybody's affected by this. They could come for you next.
I wish they would find missing kids the same amount they will go after immigrants and everything. The fact
I mean, I bet if you talk to that other guy we were seeing a second ago, you can find some of those missing kids.
that there's still missing kids being sex trafficked, human trafficking, but yet they don't give the same energy to these immigrants.
And you go after the criminals, man, the real criminals, not the innocent, hardworking people, man. No criminals.
You're not innocent, hardworking people if you're here illegally. You are a criminal. You have to get the fuck out. You have to go back. Fuck off. We're full.
Home Depot? Yeah. It's just hardworking people out there.
I'm scared for my family. I'm scared for other people's families. This shit isn't fair. You guys were our brothers and our sisters. What the fuck happened?
No one's a criminal.
If you came here illegally, we're not your brothers and sisters, and you definitely don't belong here, and it is fair. You get the same exact fairness as when you broke the law coming into our country.
On stolen land
Hispanic.
whatsoever.
They're all Hispanic. So what did their parents have to do to sacrifice for them to do with that?
What happened to being a fucking kid, growing up, thinking it would be fucking good, and then you fucking grow up and you fucking represent the opposition? Fucking represent the people that hate us? You're my fucking neighbor. You're my friend. Why? Why do you do this? Leave the fucking uniform and work for people. For human beings. You know this is wrong, Miranda. You know this is wrong. Get another job. Please,
Mods? Oh shit.
You.
I don't know what I just did.
We need you here.
I don't know what I just did. There we go.
You
I was
said
trying
you
to
would-
pause it. No, the groomer's coming back. I informed my mods that I know that there are oppression olive things about to happen in this video. Oh, sorry. Mods actually just fucked me. Now that I said I know the oppression olive things are happening, I can no longer play it. My plan was to disavow them as they came up, which is what I already said I was going to do. But now that I said that I know that it happens because people were spamming in my chat, I can no longer play it. So I'm gonna have to be very careful about when I end this. I'm sorry, mods, you have fucked me on this day. You must whip yourselves 10 times below the crosses.
Please, I implore you.
Mayor Karen Bass, we need you here.
This is the groomer again, now invoking Mayor Karen Bass, the person who should be fucking completely stripped of her power.
Oh, please, I implore you.
Mayor Karen Bass, we need you here. You said you would be with your people. We are your people. I'm a native Angelino, and they are threatening us. They are terrorizing our community. Where is our mayor? Where is our mayor? Where is our mayor?
You gotta.
Okay, I can't let this play anymore. Mods have ruined our fun time, so you can get mad at the Jannies now. But yeah, him saying he's a native Angelino with that accent, ain't no way. Ain't no way, brother. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. But in Las Vegas, there was a shooting. And at first I wasn't too interested in the shooting, but apparently the shooting was between content creators. And I was like, God damn, what the fuck? So it says, breaking video shows the moment shots are fired in front of the Bellagio fountains in Las Vegas, Nevada. So let's go in here. You can see that guy brings out a gun, and then the camera drops. So it doesn't show who got shot, thankfully. But unfortunately, 2 people did end up dying in this incident. Las Vegas MPD confirmed that the suspect has turned himself in and that there's no active threat to the public. The shooting stemmed from an isolated dispute, and both victims were declared deceased on the scene. This says from the LVMPD. Through the course of the investigation, detectives identified 41-year-old Manuel Ruiz as the suspect in this case. On June 9th, 2025, Ruiz walked into a Henderson police station and turned himself in. He was taken into custody and will be booked into the Clark County Detention Center for 2 counts of open murder with a deadly weapon. The original press release before he was arrested was on June 8th, 2025 at approximately 10:40 p.m. LVMPD officers were on routine patrol in the 3600 block of South Las Vegas Boulevard when they heard gunfire coming from the west side of the street. The officers immediately ran toward the area where the gunfire was heard and located 2 individuals suffering from apparent gunshot wounds. Medical personnel arrived and the 2 victims were pronounced deceased at the scene. This is an ongoing investigation being led by the LVMPD homicide section, and the identification of the victims as well as the cause and manner of death can be obtained through the Clark County Coroner's Office. The YouTube beef thing, side scrollers covered it today. Yeah, I had no idea that this was a thing. There's another post here that says, a social media beef turns into murder when Manny Wise shoots fellow YouTuber Finny the Legend and his wife right in the middle of the Vegas Strip in front of the Bellagio while Finny was live streaming. I don't know who either of these people are or why this happened. I have a post from the New York Times, but this links another thing. I guess I'll click on Black Sports Online and I'll see what information we have between the 2 articles. According to NBC News, 2 people were shot and killed Sunday night outside the Bellagio Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip. The authorities have not yet confirmed the identity of the victims, but according to numerous social media accounts, YouTuber Finny the Legend and his wife Bubbly were shot and killed. Oh, papi culo! I know that word! Okay, so it looks like papi culo was live with Finny. It was a former SCF message to Panny. SCF parents and Panny ends no drinking. I don't know what this. I'm trying to get like a feel for what his content was. A shout out Oog Pep. I'm not really sure what's happening. They told my 1-year-old grandson it's time to open presents. He got hyped up. Past live streams. Oh fuck. Stream 2 days ago. Oh fuck. That's probably the stream. Gangsta-ish? I don't know. There's a video. What kind of content does he do? 98-inch on smart TV, Roku TV on, but that's huge. That's a huge TV. Sin City family finally accepted me into the family. Oh, these are like 1 year ago. Oh, so he didn't even make videos that often. Maybe he was just a live streamer. Vegas lunch, Finny, I'm here. Live meet and greet Canelo Alvarez in Arizona at my grocery store. Is that a sports ball guy? I don't know who that is. And there's like juggalos in this one. Who is the cyberbully? Penny, Tragic, or Finny? I don't know what I'm reading. Sucker Punch Jojo, is that a felony? Or maybe he just did like current pop culture event stuff. That's kind of what it sounds like. A current pop culture coverage maybe would appear. Finny the Legend's YouTube channel featured a broadcast of the horrifying event. The heartbreaking scene where the man approaches the pair and starts shooting is captured in the since-deleted footage. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department stated in a statement that they believe we have the suspect identified. According to the site, even though the shooter's identity has not yet been formally disclosed. The culprit was identified as Sin City Manny Wise, the owner of a well-known YouTube channel, Sin City Family. Oh, wait a minute. He just said, where's the Joker video? Where's the Joker video? 1 year ago, Sin City Family finally accepted me into the family. So, if Sin City Manny Wise was the owner of the YouTube channel Sin City Family, and Finny got accepted into the family a year ago, this was like a family feud. This was like a backstabbing, man. This was like a backstabbing. I'm gonna watch this video.
What up, YouTube? Happy Tuesday. My fault. My day's all jacked up, but
yeah, happy Taco
quick video.
Tuesday, motherfucker.
Woke up this morning. Shout out Sin City family. They got our last 2 videos taken down. It don't matter. We're gonna keep doing it.
Oh, never mind. It was a feud. It wasn't a backstabbing. I guess the Sin City family has been fucking feuding with him for ages. That's kind of sad.
But I do need y'all help this time. Just one time for your boy. I never ask y'all for nothing. I never do. I never ask y'all to subscribe nothing. But this time I'm gonna ask y'all, can y'all subscribe to the new channel? Sin City Finney on YouTube. I'm a part of the family now. I'm the black stepchild. Manny accepted me in. So I need y'all to go over there, subscribe to that channel. I'm gonna put the link in the description. I need y'all to go subscribe, get that one up, because just in case this one gets taken down, we got another avenue that we can still talk to the people.
True.
So yeah, can y'all please go subscribe to that channel? Manny got the other videos taken down. I didn't do it. Sin City family did it. But one thing they did is they accepted me into the family. I'm the black stepchild now. So go subscribe to Finney.
That's actually, I did get clickbaited, but that's a really funny tactic. Like if someone is like fuck hating your guts and trying to get your videos taken down, just being like, yeah, I'm part of the content creation circle now, brother. I'm the fucking black stepchild. What up? That's gonna piss them off so fucking much. Oh my God, you like this guy? I know, that's sad. He's funny.
Sin City Finney. I'll put the description in the link. Shout out to Sin City family. We're gonna stream tonight. I got a couple videos of Manny cheating. I know that's crossing the line, crossing the bro code, but hey, he started it. He crossed the line first. So yeah, we got some videos. We're gonna go live tonight. Come on, y'all. When I go check that thing, let me see. I got some subscribers over there, man. So we could keep this going. Y'all say y'all like it. So go subscribe to Sin City Finney. Get those subscribers up over there, and let's see.
That's so sad, man. Now I gotta go find the fucking Sin City family thing. Let's see here. Oh, I found it. Oh, this page is... Oh, they took down his YouTube page already. Okay. All right, but it looked like Sin City Manny-wise had 14K followers. Damn. Tiny YouTuber drama's going fucking wild now if they're shooting each other over this shit. What the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, no, they deleted his YouTube channel already, though. Yeah, Sin City Manny is the killer. And that funny black Family Guy dude we were just watching, he is, unfortunately, him and his wife are both dead now. The victim and the suspect had previously engaged in some sort of conflict using a variety of social media platforms, the police noted. However, Manny's channel was taken down by YouTube on Monday because it violated our community guidelines. Finney's YouTube channel is still active in the interim. The recording of the deadly shot, however, has been removed. His most recent video on his 3.44K subscriber channel is a 2-hour live stream called Live Fremont Street Experience. Finney is winning. Here we go. Flip the page for the video of the shooting. Viewer discretion is advised. 2 killed in shooting on Las Vegas Strip. The police said the gunman who turned himself in and the victims had previously engaged in conflict over social media. Shooting was captured on video. Please don't fucking do this, man. Like, I cannot imagine. I have no idea what their drama was or what their beef was or whatever the fuck they were fighting over as YouTubers. But, like, there's zero fucking reason for it to escalate into this kind of shit. Like, you should not be bringing any sort of, like, weird drama content feud into real life. And, like, how did this other YouTuber even know where this guy was gonna be? Like, that feels like some fucking stalking behavior to me. Like, that's really fucking creepy that this other YouTuber came out and, like, wanted to kill this dude and his wife. Like, that. Anna's lucky. Kirsche is so forgiving. My forgiveness does not come easy, but I will try and forget who you are. Some guy is clowning on you and your response is to shoot them. You have lost. Oh, yeah, fucking 1,000%. A man shot and killed 2 people on Sunday night on the Las Vegas Strip near the fountains outside the Bellagio Hotel, in an attack that was apparently related to a history of conflict over social media. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said in a statement that the man, Manuel Ruiz, 41, turned himself in on Monday and would be charged with 2 counts of murder. The shooting, captured on video, was an isolated episode, the police added. I was like, that's just, like, I'm getting kind of angry, right? Because, like, imagine Imagine going out and shooting a husband and a wife, a mother and a father, now, like, basically completely taking away the family structure from their children over some fucking YouTube beef, dude. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, this person is fucked up. And, like, I have very little faith in the justice system, so I doubt he's gonna serve as much time as he should. But I hope that he fucking does. Does Las Vegas have the death penalty? Because, like, you know, we fucking should see that. Is Manuel Louis here illegally? I have no idea. That would be really funny if he was able to set up a YouTube channel and maintain covert illegal status. He should get the death penalty 100%. I'd be for that if Vegas has it. I'd be for that. Are they even big YouTubers? No. The Family Guy who got shot had like 3.4K subscribers at the time. And then the shooter had like 14K. Like, not that, like, oh yeah, once you get over 100,000 subscribers, you can shoot people in your YouTube feud. Like, no, not even. But it's just like this guy is just fucking warped, dude. Las Vegas does have capital. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I'm angry, dude. This guy just destroyed a fucking family over what? What is even the beef? What could he have even like convinced himself what it was okay to do this for? Jesus Christ. Under Sheriff Andrew Walsh said at a news briefing that the conflict had taken place over a variety of social media platforms. He gave no further details about the nature of the disagreements. The shooting happened at around 10:40 p.m. on Las Vegas Boulevard, close to the Bellagio Resort and Casino. Footage circulating online and verified by Storyful. That's the fucking website that tried extorting me! When there was a chemical fire in Georgia, I tried reporting on it and I tried looking for a video of the fire. And when I looked it up, there was a chemical fire like 2 years ago, and that was the first video that came up by Storyful. And so they copyrighted my entire stream, my entire 8-hour fucking stream, because I played that video that wasn't even the correct footage in the first place. And I hit them up like, hey guys, I used the wrong footage. I didn't mean to. Can I have access to my VOD back so I can cut out the content? Like, I'll remove it entirely. You know, I'm sorry that, like, I had your content in there. I'll remove it. I just can't access my VOD until you guys release the claim. And they were like, no, if you want to access your VOD, you're going to have to pay us. And it's $500 for a minor license, but you can pay less money if you want to have a license for more of our content. Shows a man peering into the camera while crowds of people pass by on the sidewalk in the background. Suddenly, another man in a cap and sunglasses opens fire as a woman tries to intervene. Pedestrians run for cover or fall to the ground, and about 7 gunshots can be heard on the video. Officers patrolling the area heard gunshots and found the 2 people suffering from apparent gunshot wounds, the police said. Officers patrolling the area heard gunshots and found the 2 people suffering from apparent gunshot wounds. Medical workers arrived shortly afterwards, and the 2 victims died at the scene, the police said. On Tuesday, a spokeswoman for Clark County, Nevada, which includes Las Vegas, identified the victims as Tanisha Finley and Rodney Finley. Both died from multiple gunshot wounds. I hate the YouTuber who did this. Or are they gonna play the beginning of the shooting again? Did they put fucking emotional, scary music here? Because at the fucking hotel, Rock the Casbah was playing when they got shot. Did they remove Rock the Casbah because of copyright and then put in like emotional, manipulative music? They could have just left it alone. They didn't need to put in music, man. God, I fucking hate YouTubers. So they took out Rock the Casbah, but they left in whatever this is that is also probably DMCA? Hold on, wait a minute. Trash intro, bring out the powerful truth angels.
Now, YouTube family, I'm going to give you the complete story on why the content creator Finny the Legend was killed by Sincere.
We're just gonna have a stimulation overload, all of the noises all at once, chat.
in Vegas. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video.
Annoying
This
people
is the
with
complete
Scooter.
breakdown on everything that happened. No alleged, nothing like that. Hit the like button. Now I'm going to give you video.
I'm ready to be
receipts.
educated.
Since Manny and Finney the Great were briefing for like almost 2 years now. I only knew a little bit about Finney the Great when he went to my platform a couple of times, but Sin City Manning, I heard people tell me about him, how he's not to be trusted. Now there's a lot involved, from pepper sprays to striking videos.
What the fuck?
Let's listen to Finney the Legend explain to us on how his wife got pepper sprayed by Sin City Manning himself.
What the fuck?
Those guys in the Vegas community. So let me tell y'all what's going on.
What a fucking cuck. Imagine pepper spraying a woman's.
Facts, James Cash. So originally everybody want to know, like, how did I even know Manny? Like, why did we cross paths to even get maced? And like I said on the previous video, my wife was all the way wrong. So
I can't tell if the YouTuber I'm watching is the one that put in this weird background track, or if the weird background track is from Finney's video. But, like, if it's not from Finney's video, please stop putting that stuff in. I'm begging you.
Don't keep saying it no more. She was wrong for going up to do it. We land on ours. We take ours over the chin. We was wrong for that. But this pepper spray, I mean, I don't think that fit the. I don't think that fit the.
What the fuck was that?
I don't think that fit the.
Oh, this guy is just like putting plugs randomly in the video, like it's some sort of subversive programming in commercials from the 60s. What the fuck is happening?
I don't think that fit what she did to him. So what I was doing is I was sitting around thinking, because I'm not on here every day. Like, and if I am on here every day, I'm not always in this community. This community, like the people that do Vegas streams, they fight over about 10K views every night.
What?
So amongst all the streamers that go out there on Vegas, there's about 10K. So.
What?
Excuse me. Pepper spray is a calorie.
Ew!
So, not to say that that's a small market. 10K is a big market, but if you look around YouTube, I mean, I could just tell you what I watch. Like, I watch
Wait, that's not a smoke alarm. No, that's not a smoke alarm chirp. That was like a conscious choice being put into this video.
Channels.
So for some clarification, Finney the Legend is going to explain how Sin City Manning is his rival, and it's normal for content creators of Norm to have rivals like this.
Is it? Is it normal to have rivals like that? Do I have a rival? I don't have anyone that I like constantly beef with. I have people who try to start shit with me to like farm views, and I just ignore them until years later when I get sick of their shit and I'm like, please, just go away. Anal violence? Well, I mean, if anal violence was a real rival, they would have to be like a real human being first, and I hesitate to call them that.
They fight over. All YouTubers do the same thing. The catfishing channels, they got rivals, and they fight over views also. I watch the 2K. I watch NBA 2K. The 2K viewers, they fight over views. They fight amongst each other. All the little communities fight amongst each other. I say that to say, this is the Vegas community. So of course, a lot of people, they cut the cable, they cut the cord, they cut the cable. So now they come to YouTube every day. This is free. You can come.
I have no idea what's going on. Is this normal? Maybe this is something I should ask Nux, right? Because like Nux has been a YouTuber for ages. Be like, hello, sir. Is it normal to have like weird YouTuber beefs that extend for years like this? Tiny Primal. I don't know, man. Watch too much Dragon Ball. I don't know, maybe I could like start some beef with Fillion. Be like, Fillion, your shirt needs to be bleached. Fuck you.
On YouTube for free. So now a lot of these people watch Manny every day. So now they're his YouTube. I mean, he's their celebrity. He's their VH1. He's substitute for that. If you watch,
Brother, he has 14K subscribers. He's no one's celebrity. I don't understand.
Every day you start feeling like that's your family. So I say that again to try to get this all and make it a point. So I say that because let me backfire.
So as things started trickling down from the pepper spray, Sin City Manning was also alleged to have said calling Finney's wife Job several times to get her fired unprovoked.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, well, I mean, he murdered them, so he's already a piece of shit. But if he was, like, trying to do life ruination even before that, like, he was just decisively a piece of shit. You don't call someone's place of work to get her fired. Get her fired for even fucking what? You shit cunt.
And a situation happened on Fairmont November 7th, 2023, when she got pepper sprayed by Sin City Manning also. Now, this gave many ammunition for Finney the Great to continue pursue your...
Well, like, what I'm even confused about is, like, why did the shooter... All right, their names are difficult for me to remember because they're so close to each other. But, like, why did the Sin City shooter guy... If he had beef with Manny or Fanny, I can't remember his name. If he had beef with the black guy... Why was he attacking his wife? Why was he pepper spraying the wife? Why was he trying to get the wife fired from her job? Like, this is beta male bitch behavior. If you have beef with a man and you go after his wife, that is like, Lord, like, even the most effeminate of the gays would have more respect for women than this guy does.
Boy, Manning, and that's where things went left, because they would relentlessly make fun of him, such as things like the mole. Now, Manning, Sin City Manning that is, had a noticeable mole on his shoulders, which would get Manning more enraged, because Finney the Great and his crew, who are also a group of people who hate Manning as well, would say this about the mole.
Come up, and I'll be smiling hard, man. And then they go clicking like, dang, what's this dude smiling so hard about? Then they come in and they hear me say, man, he's a punk bitch. He eats ass. He sucks dick. All that shit. And then they figured out like, dang, I didn't know he did all that.
I feel like this is very tame for what you can say to someone who has tried to get your wife fired from her job. Like, I don't know if the pepper spray occurred at this point or not, but this is after at least trying to get his wife fired. Like, this Manny guy has such fragile ego. If he can't even handle being made fun of for a fucking mole after what he's done to these people. Jesus Christ.
Smile on his face. He had a story to tell. So yeah, when they go and click Sin City Family, shout out to you promoting us out there. They gonna find our channel. Because man, you've done the test. Hey, what is that on his elbow? What is that?
What is that, a booger? Like, what the shit is that?
Looks like some old burnt hamburger, man.
Looks like a mole. He been picking at it.
Ew!
That's
why you don't wash it. So you don't wash your ass. Fuck.
What is going on? I don't know. We went from his hamburger mole to he don't wash his ass.
Now, if you guys don't know, a lot of the people who venture and watch Finney the Legend YouTube's channel are a lot of people who had a fallout with Sin City Manning. So therefore, when these people are live stream, majority of the content is talking about Sin City Manning. So right here.
Okay, well, I mean, like, even if you don't like someone, it becomes weird if, like, the majority of your content is talking about them, right? Like, if you're in the middle of a beef, it makes sense to, like, go through and be like, hey, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. Check out what he did, right? But it's like, if your content day in, day out, week after week is just about that person, like, I hope that's not the case.
To allege that he is a racist who doesn't like black folks, and
Finney's no better. He's punching down. The Manny guy had 14K subs and Finney had like 3.4K. So even if you're going by the, like, don't punch down logic that those freaks have, he wasn't punching down. He was punching up.
he goes out his way to spew negative connotation towards black people, and you can see here how everybody on the stream occasionally continues to batter away towards Manning. No matter how the situation gets, it's always a topic about Manning for conversation.
Oh, so was there like a race war happening? There's a fucking weird low subscriber race war happening on YouTube. What is going on?
Like Sin City Manning on Finney the Great with the Legends channel, he's going to expose how Manning occasionally wear women dress.
You're talking about the one that likes to dress like a girl.
Chat, why is it always those people every fucking time? Holy shit!
How Manning occasionally wear women dress.
You're talking about the one that likes to dress like a girl too. What's his name? You know, he might make you a good sign for you, Finney. Right there in the background where you at. Bam! It's gonna fit perfect. That's our guy right there. Go on this channel, Finney. See them signs. That won't fit right there in the back. Make that little fake clown back there. That wannabe buff guy. They're about probably my size, about 5'1", 5'2". Think he's doing something? He's not doing nothing. Trust me. He's not doing nothing over there, Mega. He's fooling himself. That's all he's fucking doing, dog.
Now, for whatever reason, Sin City Manning is always accused of behaving mysterious.
I was really hoping they were gonna put up the pictures, alright? Like, not that I want to see a man in a dress, but like this, I wanted to see this fucking murderous piece of shit humiliated.
Like he's running away from charges. So they are going to expose that he is obviously hiding something from the community, the Vegas community that is, because he's always hiding. He's always being mysterious. So this behavior would
maybe he's just here illegally.
It would basically get exposed that Manning is an alleged Geppetto who was grooming a young Asian woman. And
there's no way that every single time it's man in a dress, grooming allegations, misogyny, because he was going after this black guy's wife instead of the black guy himself. Every single fucking time. Once you realize that most trans activists are autogynephiliac males, the death threats and violence make a lot more sense.
this video right here will show proof of that.
Sure, I do.
You are really handsome.
I handsome? Oh, you're really beautiful too. I like your hat.
A minor.
You're so cute. Oh, you like my glasses?
Does he know she's a minor?
Reporting.
My tattoos.
Why is he stripping?
You like that?
Oh. Oh God. This is awkward.
This guy.
You want me to dance for you?
This is so fucking weird. What the fuck is happening? What is this weird side of YouTube?
Get a little bit more disturbing as the woman age in question is mysterious, but Manning will continue to parade around and do this again.
Right, you ready?
I don't like it.
Oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're on fucking YouTube! What are you doing?
That's crazy. Pause there. This is insane.
I feel like I've just been sexually assaulted. Jesus fuck. Oh my God, he's still fucking going. What the fuck?
Check those IDs. Julie, you gonna be a part of some bullshit, Julie.
Things will continue to get weird for Sin City Manning as allegations of him passing out and getting drunk and then taking a number 1 on his wife,
what?
Which caused people to expose them furthermore. This would cause Sin City Manning to lose his...
How did that thing get a fucking wife? Does she need help? Has she been taken hostage? What the fuck? This is the first time I've heard of the murderer having a wife.
Situations, strikes, being exposed after exposed. Well, it didn't sit well. Watch this. So both YouTubers community continued to strike each other's channel, which would cause more panic and obvious destructions headed both ways.
Let's get this clear though, y'all, because we all laugh and joke. This is a PR. This is a PR moment. We all laugh and joke, but mental illness is real, and we can clearly see this guy is mentally ill. So
I agree, Finny.
That's why I want to put it on y'all too. If he give us another strike and I got 3, y'all know that channel mean everything to him. He don't got no outside friends, nothing. I don't think I could do it in my heart. And I'm saying this on live so he can hear it too. Shout out LDT. But I don't think I can take his channel from him, man, because I think he's so close to going in the closet, man. And he's so close, man.
Fuck that. You know what the first thing I asked you, did you give him a strike?
This is Kiwi Farms in the hood. Holy shit.
You swinging me, we swinging back twice. Boot him to the motherfucking moon.
So let me tell you this.
Finny the Legend would not be afraid of the strikes or anything like that. He would continuously go to Vegas.
Oh,
and
shout out Gorlak the
Sin
Destroyer
City
in the
Manning
background
more.
there. He's not in the Kiwi Farm, he's in the Orange Grove.
This untouchable feeling of being on YouTube would take the stakes a little higher. Finny the Legend would go to Vegas on Fairmont and continuously to call out Sin City Manning. And now Finny the Legend was with family and friends when he did more service public announcements towards Sin City Manning and looking for him.
Her a drink and she gonna go crazy. Send her a drink and she gonna go crazy.
I don't know what that
Send you a
means.
drink and you gonna go crazy. Look at her, y'all. Look at that look she got. Look at that look.
Well, like they said, I'm not afraid of you and you're not afraid of me. Only one way to end this. And that shows that Sin City Manning took a drive to Vegas because he heard that this guy was in his city. That's guy being
crazy.
Finny the Legend. So Manning, Sin City Manning that is, went immediately looking for the wife of Finny and himself.
I'm out here searching for my baby. But I went through every casino there is.
This is hella premeditated.
I heard there's one of my biggest fans here.
That's crazy that you would record this.
Fuel bar tonight? Is that what we're doing? I'll be there. Come to my city and think I'm not gonna show up? You think I'm not gonna show up? I should have been the first one to be told.
So as you
Actual fucking psychopath.
Sin City Manning would close in on Finny the Legend. He would find him walking on Fairmont around the Vegas area. He would walk past him, to which Finny the Legend would let his supporters and followers see Manning walking past him, and he kind of teased them a little bit, laughed at him a little bit. Well, Finny came back and would eliminate, Manning came back and would eliminate the wife and Finny.
I don't like that wording. I mean, it's true, but like the dude murdered them, man. Like he premeditated. He was looking for them all day and then came back and just murdered them.
Facts, donut.
Oh, the rock, the Casbah.
Look, YouTube family, this is sad all the way around. Too much times on YouTube, people take these things past beef, past the point of no return, and we have to learn from all of this. What transpired could have easily been avoided had people just been grown-ups and accountable for their own actions. But people like to pick sides. People like to negate the fact that this is only YouTube. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. But they turn it into a turmoil, which everybody loses, everybody suffers. Because when you look at this outcome,
clout is a hell of a drug, chat.
Who's the blame? Who's the call out to say this person started it or she started it first? I'm gonna teach you what my teacher taught me in 5th grade. You have to sometimes be the bigger man, not because you have to be the bigger man. It's simply, well, self-preservation. And a lot of our counterparts haven't learned that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your guy, DJ Bless One, the best one. Love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed. Please subscribe to this channel. I love each and every single one of you.
I appreciate the Smoke Hip Hop Man, because that was actually very informative, unlike that AI voice channel. AI voice channel, I don't think would have gotten any of the timeline right, so I appreciate this guy. I've now learned about the beef, and it was incredibly stupid, and the Manny Killer guy is just a weird piece of shit that hopefully will either get the death penalty or rot in prison forever.